So here we have a still from the movie Milk, and this is our recreation. So as always, I will reset my nodes. And I start with a color space transform to Cineon Film Log Gamma. In the balance, I like to increase the contrast, but this looks pretty good to me, so I leave it as it is. Then I will apply the Kodak 2383, and I've just checked. I was using the D55 again, because as we can see in our reference image here, that red and green is higher than the blue. So we choose a D55. Then I make an image wipe. I pan my reference image to the left, or maybe to the right. Then I go to my balance and I can decrease the contrast. And this helps to see, okay, where's my midtone? And after that, I reduce the exposure. But I have to reset this because I was in lock mode. So I go back to my primary color wheels. So I will lower the contrast. I will bring the exposure down. And after that, I slowly increase my contrast and change the pivot. So I bring the pivot up, lower my exposure, add more contrast. Bring the exposure up, more contrast. So this looks okay. For now, our highlights are brighter, but this looks fine. So for now, I'm going to the vector scopes and I will shift the offset and hue to the left and to the right. So I don't think we have to add an RGB mixer at all. So, but it's nice to have, so you can see it here in the scopes. Maybe I want to add a little bit. So maybe 10% or 20%. So this is before and this is after. And it's very minimal, but it is different. So to me this looks pretty good. I go to my offset and then I shift my offset over the image, and we can see that we have to reduce the saturation here. And I don't care about the red because the red is coming from here. You can see it. So I care about the overall shape. So we don't have to do this. We have to increase the saturation. And now we are getting pretty close. So this is a grade from last year. And this is a grade from now. So maybe reduce the saturation a bit. And this looks pretty good. It's good enough. So this is before and this is after. And again, I'm not aiming for a perfect match. What we can always do is resizing our image here. If we really want to get a perfect match. A good trick is to resizing the reference sizing. And match this one here. And then I can go back to my balance and maybe lower the exposure. Dial in my contrast. Add more saturation. And check my qualifier here. And we can see that here we have more green. If we look at the vectorscopes, and here our skin tones are more reddish. So I go to my offset and move migrate more towards yellow and green. So like so. Okay, now it's updating. Okay. And maybe I want to rotate my U a little bit. But I'm not sure about that. And maybe reduce it a bit. And bring back the exposure. But as I said before, this image was not captured by a cinema camera, so it will never be a perfect match. So don't try to match this perfectly. So this looks okay. Maybe we can also increase the key output here. And you can see this also helps to shift the saturation in the skin tones. And I think this is good enough. So this is the original movie. This is a grade from today. This is a grade from the last year. And yeah, let's move on to the next film. So here we have a still from the movie Silence. And this is our recreation. So this is before and this is after. As always, I will reset my notes. In the CST, I go to Cineon Film Log. I check my balance. As always, I like to increase the contrast and see if I have to adjust my balance. But I keep it that way. So maybe this one is more balanced, but I keep it that way. So maybe it was shot that way, balanced by the DOP, if it was log footage. So let's not change the balance here. So I reset the node. Then I choose my Kodak LUT. And I choose a D65. When we look at the reference, we have a slightly warmer image here. So maybe I choose a D60. Then I go to my balance. I do an image wipe. I move the reference image to the left. I reduce the contrast. Change the exposure. Contrast back up. Maybe change the pivot a bit. So this looks pretty good. Then I can move my offset in node number 4. And I want to add a little bit of RGB mixer. And bring this down to maybe 20 or 30%. Then I'm using my offset. And I shift my offset to the right, to magenta. And then I can see maybe I want to do a U rotation, as you can see here. So I want to rotate my U a little bit. So now you can see my U is at 48 instead of 50. Then I move the shape of the trace above my reference image. Then I go back to my balance and maybe I want to add a little bit of saturation. Lower my exposure. And yeah, this looks pretty good. So this is my grade from the last year. And this is today's grade. So you can see I have to maybe add a little bit of contrast, bring the exposure down. And if I add more contrast, maybe reduce the saturation a bit. And I want to take a look at my at the logs and at the shadows. So we can see here on the left we have our reference image, and on the right we have our photograph. So I go to my log and I want to reduce the red, bring the green a little bit up, and change the blue a bit. So this is before and this is after. Maybe add a little bit of contrast. So it's not the same look, it's a different look, which I did last year. So, and it's all about the concept that you can create this look with just 6 nodes. So it's not a perfect match, but again and again, I'm not aiming for the perfect match. It's just a demonstration that you can get pretty close with a bunch of nodes. So let's move on to the next film. So here we have a still from the movie Skyfall, and this is our recreation. So I will reset my nodes. And I start with the balance, but I can already see it's pretty much balanced, so I will not change anything here. Then for the Kodak, let's have a look at our reference here. We can see it's very warm. In the highlights, we have more red and more green than blue. So we select the D55 instead of D65. Then we change the pen of our reference image. Go to our balance and reduce the contrast. I'm in lock mode again, so back to the color wheels. I will reduce the contrast, bring the exposure down, and try to get a similar look, a similar tone, a similar contrast. Then I'm going to my vector scope and to my offset, and I move the offset to the right, and we can see that we have to use the RGB mixer. I reduce the key output and I look at my shape, so maybe 20%, so 20 or 30%. Then I'm going to my offset, and I will do a U-rotate here, as you can see. So maybe 46 or 47. You can see here that I try to line up this shape with this shape. With my offset. And this looks already pretty good. So this is a grade from last year, and this is today's grade. So I'm going back to my balance and move the offset, the pivot up. Maybe also change my offset. So to brighten up the image. And reduce the contrast. Reduce my exposure. And lower my saturation. So really small changes. So this is the grade from last year, and this is today's grade. We don't have a match in the jacket yet. So I go to my parade. Maybe add a little bit more contrast. Change the pivot. Lower the saturation. And in my log, when I move my image wipe tool around, we can see where the red is and where the green and the blue. So in log mode, I want to lower my red, lower my green a bit. And this looks pretty good. maybe bring up the blue a bit. So this is before and this is after. And this is the grade from last year. This is today's grade. It has more contrast, so we can change this, but it's more about how to create this look. This is very reddish, so maybe I think I have to reset this one. So as we can see here, in our reference, when we go full screen and not split screen, we can analyze the shape more. And this is the shape from our reference image, and here's our shape. So maybe we want to move it more like this. And open this up a bit. I don't think I made it better, but it's good enough. So this is a movie scene, and this is our recreation from today. This is before and this is after. So it's good enough. So let's move on to the next film.